All right, Broncos country, what is going on? Happy Friday. A couple days away from game day. Gonna break down a handful of plays here from Nix. Obviously, had his ups and downs here in his rookie debut on the road against Seattle. We've talked a lot about this, but gonna highlight some different plays, some of his great plays that I think will leave us encouraged. Obviously, some of the plays that I feel like he will be learning from, that he'll be very hard on himself this week, probably going over the film with Sean Payton, Joe Lombardi, everybody else. Davis Webb. And hopefully, again, I think one of the biggest things that I want you guys to have as a takeaway is that still showing uh, a lot of signs of being a good fit for this offense, being a good fit at quarterback, being the best fit at quarterback we've had since Peyton Manning. I feel that way. So, going to dive into this. Of course, you guys let me know your comments. I'll get to them after this stream is over. But let's go ahead and dive into this. Guys, I wanted to start out with this play. This is at the end of the game here. And this is what I said post game on Sunday when I've talked about the game later this week or earlier this week. We talked about how the Broncos were getting to the line with like 7 seconds left on the clock most of the time. They weren't really able to check into that specific play because, normally Sean Payton might give 2 plays. We're checking in based on the look that we're getting at the defense, what we're going to run. We weren't able to do that a lot of the time. We weren't able to run motion just because that whole operation was slow in Seattle. We've seen that before, not to the level with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson, but it was still slow. But this is what time at the line does for you. Watch this. Motion, Bo Nix, check to play, hit the out there for the first down. Okay, watch this, guys. Beautiful stuff here. So, see, they got time at the line, running some motion, understanding what's going on. You're going to see 21 show a blitz. Oh, hey, all right, we're going to check. We're going to check this play or adjust the protection. And watch how he hits this out. I believe this is to Josh Reynolds or Lil Jordan Humphrey. Watch this. He knows exactly where he's going. First down. First down to Josh Reynolds. This is what I'm talking about when we're able to get to the line with some time. Why it's so important, and not to jump on another tangent, but this is what I would like to see us do more with Shador, but that's for another channel. Look at what this motion does. Having time at the line, Bo Nix is able to help make a decision. You see, I believe that's Javonte Williams help making that check as well. Bo Nix, when he knows what he's going to do pre-snap, that's going to really help him out. Again, 3rd and 6 here. 3rd and 6, 10-yard completion on the out to Josh Reynolds. This was a really great throw. This was done in the 4th quarter. One of the few times that we were able to run motion, one of the few times we were able to get to the line with plenty of time to make an adjustment based on what the defense was showing. We weren't able to do that a lot. Obviously, playing at home this week, we're going to be able to do that a lot more. Still going after a tough defense, though. But this was one of my favorite plays. I wanted to show you that right there. Again, the footwork, the decision-making, all that, just right there. Let's start at now a little bit more at the beginning of the game. 8-minute mark. And you'll see just some instances, I think, of Bo Nix experiencing the speed of the NFL. Would have loved to see him hit this slant here to Sutton. Sutton's down at the bottom of the formation. But I think, again, just not getting totally comfortable with the speed of the defense, feeling that rusher. Number 99 kind of peel off McGlinchey. I think Bo Nix unnecessarily continues to roll out and hits the check down where he still has time to move. And even though he's rolling out maybe a little bit unnecessarily, you can see here that if he uses this time to just kind of step up here, look at this. Or not a slant route, it's kind of a crosser route. Here to Sutton, just kind of peeling out, He's behind this layer of defense right here. I think that this is one, probably going through the film that earlier this week, that he identified that, hey, I just need to remain a little bit more calm, not sometimes just automatically go to my check down if I'm feeling a little bit of pressure here, because Cortland Sutton was wide open over here. And I think he was definitely had enough room apart from these secondary members to float one in over, hit him with a nice pass there around the 50-yard line. I'm sure that was one that he wishes that he could have had back. But let's take a look at a great throw here from Bo Nix. 13:58. Great throw, bad drop. You guys probably remember this one. Here to little Jordan Humphrey. I thought he did a much better job here, understanding the coverage that he was getting. My guess is that he was kind of taking a look to see what this corner or what this linebacker was doing, right above little Jordan Humphrey. But he throws in a great timing throw here. Great anticipation, clean pocket, so credit to the offensive line for this. Thought the footwork was good. And the placement of this is great. It's just, it hits Lil Jordan Humphrey right in the hands. That's something that you have to be better at. You have to catch that to help out our rookie quarterback. But another very decisive throw. And notice, guys, in between the numbers, this offense continues to just feel a little bit different than what we've seen in years past. We're able to hit these, and I think we will be able to hit these patterns within the numbers consistently this year. That's just something Lil Jordan Humphrey has got to have back. The ball placement, this is exactly where you want to see it. Only where Lil Jordan Humphrey can get it. That's something that he should have 10 times out of 10. He's got to be better. Now, we did see a little bit of RPO action, not a ton. My hope is that we see more of it. Go to this next play here. I believe this one goes to Josh Reynolds. Again, this is just easy stuff where I believe kind of normally how this stuff is ran. Bo Nix is going to be keying on 21. I think this might be Witherspoon. If he crashes in, you're throwing to him on this little bubble. And if he ends up playing it, then you can just run it with Jaleel, or I believe that's Javonte back there. And watch how this plays out. Like real simple stuff. This is stuff that he's a pro at doing at Oregon. We saw during the preseason. And again, just fantastic open field tackling from the Seattle Seahawks. Their tackling was an A++. I can't even remember seeing a broken tackle from any of our wide receivers this past game. I've watched this game 3 times now. But one thing that I want you guys to notice is that, the point of this play is you're wanting to get the ball in your receiver's hands. Hopefully you can make a guy miss or get yards after the catch, right? Seattle really minimizes this with 20 coming up here to make this play. But Bo Nix makes the right read here. And one thing to just continue to harp on is that he throws these quick action plays, these RPOs, really, really well, because I feel like 90% of the time that I'm watching it, the ball placement is right where it needs to be for the receiver to just continue his momentum forward. Doesn't stunt them backwards at all, like we've seen with quarterbacks in the past. This was a really good throw, simple throw, and credit to Seattle. I think against some other teams, this goes for a first down here on 2nd and mid. Really good job tackling here from Seattle. And by the way, I like their uniform, Seattle. Yeah, just a real good tackle there from 20. All right, let's continue to move on. We talked about Bo Nix's timing just being off, really facing a true NFL defense for the first time, obviously. And here's an example of that. I'm very confident he's going to be able to find his timing because we heard and saw the reports from all the Broncos insiders, beat guys, that this is how things looked at early start to mini camp, at the early start of training camp. But then he finds his rhythm. He finds his timing. Watch this throw here to Sutton. I believe this is the right read, just bad timing. Yeah. Like right read, just air mails it. You know, the footwork looked fine. It's just it's an off operation. Maybe he was expecting Sutton to run a little bit deeper or something, which doesn't really make sense. I really just think it was a bad throw. He's going to find the right rhythm and timing when it comes to this. But hey, positive out of here is that I think he's making a great read. Now, could he have hit Jaleel right here for the check down? Maybe, but again, you got that guy right here covering him. I think that this was the correct read from Bo Nix. Good to see him standing firm in the pocket and just delivers a bad throw. But everything else besides the throw, it leaves you encouraged. Let's take a look, though, at another RPO. Believe I got it here at the 21:20 mark. Yeah. Another RPO. Witherspoon crashes. Devon Vele is able to make a guy miss, and he gets a first down here. Let's watch it again. And Seattle, maybe we didn't run a lot of this because Seattle was so good with their open field tackling. We just could not get much going in the short game. But look at the ball placement of this again. Sees Witherspoon crash. Okay. Just going to take a little step and throw it right on the money again. The ball placement is right there to get the most out of this play. And 20's right there. Good job on Vele. Still getting forward, but Seattle did such a good job on minimizing any of the yards after the catch. They're one of the best tackling teams in the NFL, and shame on me for expecting that we might see a little regression with their head coaching change, right? Okay, let's continue to move on. 31-40 or 31-04. This was a great idea. Again, this is something that I think Bo Nix is going to get down with just more playing experience. Okay. So Sutton's down here at the bottom. This is a nice throw, but I think that calmer footwork would have helped this. Like, this is one that Sutton's got to have. So you'll see Sutton kind of run this crosser over the middle. They leave this open. Bo Nix slides. That's something that Sutton has to have. Again, positives that I'm taking from this. Bo Nix is scanning the field. He's not panicking when facing a blitz. He shifts his feet to the left to bide more time for himself, right? Makes a strong throw. This goes through Sutton's hands. This is something that he has to have. But again, guys, the timing is off. We don't see this put right on the money, which we see Bo Nix do so often. This is something where I think he will have more consistent success at as time moves on, as he gets more comfortable playing in true NFL speed. I think slightly calmer footwork would have helped. But this is one where you got to be encouraged again with the read, with the poise in the pocket to not just start running, putting his head down right when he faces pressure. No, look, he just shifts, finds that open window, and fires, like throwing guys open, like he's making this type of throw where 57's sitting in that little zone ahead of him. But he anticipates that something's going to be more open here in a split second. Great play. This is one that should have gone for a first down. And we had a handful of plays like this, whether Bo Nix's timing was off or passes were being dropped in the first half with just that just stunted any sort of momentum that we were able to get. Now, Bo Nix wasn't always making the best reads. Let's take a look here at 33-32. Okay. Now, you guys remember this. This probably should have gone for an interception. This is on kind of a deeper post to Cortland Sutton. I wonder if Bo Nix just didn't even see this safety because I just don't know why you make this throw. And it was off. So maybe he saw that safety late. But you see he's almost trying to manipulate. He just throws this with confidence like he already knows. Like he's already back throwing before he's even looking in that section. I wonder if that's just an instance where he just didn't see the guy. And to be fair, I mean, good on Seattle wearing those blue jerseys with the blue end zone. At least in the video games, it gets me. But with Bo Nix, he's got to be better than that. And I think he'll get better as time goes on, making sure he sees those guys. Let's watch it from this angle. Yeah, like he was just ready to fire that from the get-go with what read he thought he was getting pre-snap. Not one you want to see. 41-10. Nice read, but again, a little late. This is where his timing will get better. Well, play action. Standing there in the pocket. Again, right read, but you can tell like this throw just comes out way too late. What we saw a lot of times in preseason, which I think was leaving us very encouraged and still should, is that Bo Nix is firing this in anticipation before the break is even completed from the wide receiver there deep. I think that's Josh Reynolds. We would see this ball already out, feel like with a comfortable Bo Nix, understanding the timing. This was just, this throw just came late. Again, good read, but he threw it too late to where the window closed. This is something that he's going to get down. I guess it doesn't help that Josh Reynolds slips here, but at least he helps prevent any sort of interception. Again, I thought this was a fine read. Timing is just off a little bit. Let's take a look at what I said was a flash throw at the 50-49 mark to Josh Reynolds. I don't believe this goes for a completion. Yeah, look at this back shoulder throw. No, it does go for a completion. Let's go to Josh Reynolds. This is what Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett were doing a few times to Riley Moss. But before we go through and look at this play again, guys, notice where this throw is coming from. It's coming from the opposite hash over to the far side of the field, down the field on the other sideline. Good display of arm strength, good display of accuracy on a deep pass. And Bo Nix looks comfortable, gets rid of the ball quickly. Perfect throw here to Josh Reynolds in the back shoulder. It's good coverage. It's a great throw and catch. Just the timing looks great there. And 22 is like, man, come on. This was great stuff. I had good coverage. Better play from the offense. And then I love Jordan Jackson, 97 here, just getting pumped up. Oh, man, they cut away from it. Let's go to 51-13. It's actually this next play. Keep an eye on Vele here in the slot. This is where I wish he went with this play. And I think this is a little bit of an instance of him feeling a little flustered. Again, he runs out of bounds. Just throw it out of bounds. That's kind of how I feel, especially with that guy on you. I know he's trying to get that extra yard, but after you do that stutter step, just throw it out of bounds. But watch this. Similar to that Cortland Sutton throw that I showed you earlier, Vele comes open on this post over the middle. See, there's just a huge hole with Seattle kind of playing three guys deep. Witherspoon not wanting to give up the leverage up top, but this is where I would like to see, especially with Bo Nix having so much room here in the pocket. He can kind of step forward a little bit, and if he had just kept his eyes downfield, you see that Vele's open over here, and this ends up going for a really nice gain. I think that this was one that he just missed. You see he's already in run mode when you got Vele open and you had him open, then that window kind of closes. Yeah, you see, we've seen a lot of that with Drew Lock, with Russell Wilson, right? So that's going to be something that we try and minimize more of. Let's check out this out to Vele, though, at the 1:14:35 mark. Vele's over here down at the bottom by Dulcich. Look at that again. Still throwing those quick outs really good. When he understands what kind of coverage he's got. Good job on Dulcich. Kind of running as a little screen here. But this is great quick timing. Ball control offense, man. This is great stuff. I was very impressed with Vele. The fact that Vele was our best receiver against the Seahawks. Of course, you'd want to see Sutton and Josh Reynolds doing their thing, but by no means is that meant to be like, wow, Vele sucks. No, like, I was very impressed with him as a 26-year-old guy. Like, this is what you want to see. And if you're talking about Vele being the Tim Patrick replacement, I still think he's just fine when it comes to that. Now, with the injuries that we have, with Vele out, would it be a good time to just re-sign Tim Patrick? We still can. He's on the practice squad from or with the Lions. We can still do it. We can still bring him back. This is a great throw here from Bo Nix, and I think we'll see more of this type of stuff as time goes on. Let's get to the 1:20:35 mark. Love this throw to Vele. I think Vele's here down at the bottom. Or no. No, he's over. Sorry. Got confused. Vele's over here in the slot, right over here next to Matt Pert. And Garrett Bowles, I think, is going to play. So watch this. So even though, it's kind of a, second read or third read or so, I love, again, the ball placement of this throw. Leading him towards the first down. Maybe you could say, Dave, would have been nice if you didn't have to turn around. I mean, I guess, sure, but I like this throw. Good job on Vele sticking with it. I like that sometimes, Bo Nix, he will take what the defense gives you. Sometimes that can suck, but other times it's like, what keeps the offense moving? Not always looking for the big play. Maybe he could have hit Dulcich here. but that might have been later in his progression. Looked like he was reading this side of the field from the get-go. Good throw there. Let's watch the footwork. Calm footwork. Good operation. This is one of my favorite throws on the day, this money throw to Courtland Sutton on the slant. Wish we were able to see a little bit more of this. Or I guess it wasn't to Sutton, it was to Reynolds. Look at that. Look at the ball placement there. Simple read, firing. It's right where it needs to be. Credit for Josh Reynolds making that catch, taking a lick. Sometimes you're going to do that on those slants. Really love this type of stuff from Bo Nix. This is what we brought him in here to do. Hit this stuff in between the numbers, over the middle. He's got the accuracy to be successful at it. Ball placement. Really like that. And again, if you guys are just a little late tuning in here, I'll finish off with this play that I led with. This is what gives me so much encouragement about Bo Nix. Didn't get a lot of time at the line pre-snap against Seattle. We're going to see more of that as the season goes on. Just look how beautiful this operation is. Again, you get enough time to come out in one look. You can run some different motion. Oh, see something pre-snap. All right, we're going to change the play. We're going to make some adjustments. And I can kind of read this cornerback over here on the bottom right. See if he sticks with little Jordan Humphrey or whatever. First down, third down conversion. Absolutely loved it. And I guess, guys, we can see here, I'll give you a couple bonus clips at the end. We see Bo Nix start to get the timing here down at the end. And that's all you want to see is just progression, progression, progression. This was the throw that I was really impressed with here to Sutton. Another ball placement, just gem of a throw to Courtland Sutton on this slant. Gets you in a first and goal situation. Again, finding the timing, finding the rhythm, the chemistry with Courtland. You know, he airmailed that one before, earlier in the game. Now you see him nail this one. Really nice stuff. Love that. And then let's just finish this off with the touchdown run. You know, it looks beautiful. And one thing I want to see from Sean Payton as we get ready for Pittsburgh here in a couple days is let's utilize Bo Nix's legs a little bit. Love this. Showing an ability to just make a play on his feet. You might say, hey, why don't you just throw it to little Jordan Humphrey here in the corner of the end zone? Well, man, I understand. If you really do feel like you can run this thing in, you take the more sure thing. Well, Jordan, you didn't do yourself any favors on getting this pass when you're dropping one earlier that was just right in the breadbasket. So I can understand Bo Nix taking what might feel like a little bit more of a sure thing, just running this thing in. He wasn't worried about this DB at all. Great stuff. So again, not a perfect day from Bo Nix. We saw Jane Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Bo Nix combined for 0 touchdowns thrown in their debuts last week. I think that changes this week, not only for Bo Nix, but for these rookie quarterbacks. But going into a very tough environment, you can't help but be encouraged from seeing some of these flashes from Bo Nix. Again, I think a lot of the stuff that we saw in terms of the things that didn't just look right or bad reads, I think that's easily correctable. To me, there wasn't anything that was overly concerning going through his tape, watching the replay in his rookie debut. I think there's a lot to like there. And again, guys who know football way better than me, way more than me. They seem to be encouraged going through this tape as well. So I think that's wonderful. So I'll get to a couple of your comments. Dang, Tim has 7 kids. You're almost there next to Phillip Rivers, man. That's awesome. Yes. Targets, darts only. Hopefully we get only darts only from Bo Nix this week against Pittsburgh. Going up against another tough defense. But again, guys, he's going to have the advantage of being at home. We can line up with plenty of time. We can get different looks. We can run more motion. We're going to be able to get into the more ideal play more often than not, and much more often than where we were, or than when we were against Seattle. No doubt. D-Rock, what is going on? Hope you're having a great day. Rubber Band Sunday. We're bouncing back. No worries. Absolutely, guys. I got some expectations for this team this year. I want to see us better with a better record than we were last year. But the biggest thing that I'm most interested in is watching the development of our young players, watching how Bo Nix continues to grow. Can Jaleel McLaughlin, truly be that 1B type of running back to Javonte Williams? It really sucked seeing him take that check down from Bo Nix in the middle of this game and fumble it, because that was another instance where I felt like we were starting to get some momentum going, and it just didn't happen. But I'm very interested to see how this group grows together, and seeing Greg Dulcich hopefully featured a little bit more this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think we bounce back. This is a Pittsburgh Steelers team that, again, I'm not saying we blow them out, but this is a team that we should beat. This is a team that we should beat, especially at home. When we're talking about getting one of those wild card spots, right, you have to take care of business at home, especially against another conference opponent. People say this all the time. Probably the least important games on the schedule are road non-conference games. So if we're going to lose one on the road, we can afford that against Seattle. What we can't afford is to lose games at home to division opponents as well as conference opponents. Let's get this thing right on Sunday. So I'll be back tomorrow with my game preview. Again, really appreciate you guys sticking with me. Please like and subscribe as we're growing David Talks Broncos. And I am on Facebook now, so go subscribe there as well. That would be very helpful. I'll see you guys later. And as always, go Broncos.